For today's topic is the water cycle. The water cycle shows the continuous movement of water within the earth and atmosphere. It is a complex system that includes many different processes. Liquid water evaporates into water vapor, condenses to form clouds, and precipitates back to earth in the form of rain and snow. Students will be able to first explain the function of water cycle, second, explain how clouds are formed, third, learn the importance of why we should take care of our water resources. So, water cycle, also known as the hydrologic cycle or the hydrological cycle, is a biogeochemical cycle that describes the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. Water is found in three forms or states on the earth. The first is solid, liquid, and gas. Ice is water in its solid state. Ice forms when liquid water hits the freezing point of 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. When heat is added to ice, it melts and changes to liquid water. Water in a gas form is called water vapor. Water vapor forms when heat is added to liquid water to a temperature of 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. So, have you ever wondered where the rains come from? Or how the clouds are formed? Well, this is what water cycle is all about. When the sun heats up the bodies of water such as lakes, rivers, and oceans, water turns into water vapors. The first stages of water cycle or the first procedure is what we call evaporation. It's the change of state from a liquid to a gas. Evaporation occurs when heat is added to a liquid. Water vapor is in the air, but you cannot see it. In water cycle, heat is added to water such as lakes, oceans, rivers, streams. The second stage is condensation. After the water evaporates, the water vapor is cooled by the air and condenses. Condensation happens when gas changes to a liquid. The tiny drops of water combines together to form clouds. The third stage is precipitation. When the water droplets in clouds get heavy, they fall back to earth as precipitation. Precipitation is any form of water that falls from clouds to the earth. These are rain, snow, sleet, and hail are all forms of precipitation. This type of precipitation, the first one, rain. These are the most common form of precipitation when drops of water fall through air that is above freezing. The next one is snow. Falls when the temperature in a cloud is below freezing. Water vapor forms ice crystals called snowflakes. The third one is sleet. Rain that freezes as it falls to the earth. The last one is hail. Forms when drops of rain freeze and strong winds carry them higher into a cloud. The four stages of water cycle is what we call collection. Collection occurs when the precipitation falls to earth and collects in lakes, oceans, rivers, and streams. This allows for the water cycle to begin all over again with evaporation. The fifth stage is infiltration. When precipitation occurs, not all water makes it back to oceans, lakes, streams, and rivers. Some water soaks into the earth. This process is called infiltration. The last stages of water cycle is what we call runoff. Some precipitation flows downhill on the Earth's surface. This water is called runoff. Runoff waters flows towards streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans. So, this is what water cycle is all about. Although there is a continuous cycle of water, you might wonder if there will come a time we will run out of water. This happens because about 97% of the water in our surroundings is salty. Thus, only 3% of this water is fresh or potable. Therefore, only a very small amount of fresh water is found in rivers, lakes, and ponds, and in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. Water cycle is very important because it is how water reaches plants, animals, and us. It provides people, animals, and plants with water. All life is dependent upon water. Water makes up 60% to 70% of all living matter, and humans cannot live without drinking water for more than a week. My reflection or insight in water cycle. So, all living things need water to survive. The water cycle allows water to be recycled over and over again. By going through different forms of water, it allows for us to always have water as a natural resource on the earth. Explain what the water cycle is. So, the water cycle is the process of water changing from one form to another over and over again. This is what's called the recycling of water on the earth. Does the water cycle have start and stopping point? No. The water cycle is a cycle that continues over and over again. Some might say that it starts with evaporation, but all the steps of the cycle rely on one another. Why is the water cycle important? The water cycle is important because all living things need water to survive. The water cycle ensures that water can be reused over and over again. So, that's all for today's lesson. Thank you for watching and listening.